Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Starcom Unknown Space. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 25 bucks or so. It'll be releasing from early access in September of 2024. Now, one real quick thing to mention, the options menu is currently bugged. Every time I hit a different tab, it resizes the window to the largest resolution possible. It is super annoying. I did email the developers, and hopefully they'll get on that as a bug fix. So just be warned, if you do buy this now, that there's an issue with that. And I did email the developer about it. So what is this game all about? Well, I covered this game 2 years ago, and I also covered its previous game, which was, I think, Starcom Nexus. And both games are very similar to each other, but this game has a different story, even if there is similar gameplay elements. This is a top-down action RPG in space of sorts, but it also behaves like Star Trek in a way, where you're going to be exploring planets and sending down survey teams and trying to get research points so that you can unlock new technologies. The research tree itself is super vast. So if you go to a friendly station, you can go to the research area, and so as long as you've got research points to spend, and again, you earn those by, exploring planets and analyzing things that you pick up along the way. You'll be able to unlock better, deflectors or engines or whatever. So you'll be able to, once you unlock these things, go to the shipyard and then just start adding things. And you'll see that in a little bit. But I love this aspect of it because, it just keeps me engaged. I'm really curious to see what my final ship is going to look like once it's all said and done. I really want to see, can I create this ginormous battle cruiser that can pretty much decimate anything in its path? So I'm really curious about that. I mean, in the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of options, but as you unlock new technologies, you'll be able to put new things down, but you have to have the resources to do it. There's a lot of them. So you kind of have to find these resources in the environment and then spend those resources to add to your ship. And don't worry, if you want to remove something, you get a full refund for it. So there's none of that oops, oh, I made a mistake and now I lost half my resources. No, that's not a thing. There's a full refund mechanic there. So anyway, what's the actual gameplay like? Well, there's two methods of travel, at least fast travel anyway. There are these little gates that sort of propel you between themselves, and then there are wormholes that will just allow you to fast travel from one point to another. Typically, wormholes are a lot further away. They're like gates, like wormhole gates or something or other. But yeah, you interact with, they're called gateways. You interact with them, and then you pick a location somewhere, and then you just instantaneously teleport to it. And this is important because, things are pretty far away from each other. And, it will take time to get there. And there's something called a void effect, too, where if you're in deep space and there's nothing nearby, there's no gravitational pull or anything, so your ship goes faster. Whereas if you enter a solar system with a bunch of unknown planets, then you're going to slow down a bit until you scan all of these different planets, and your science officer, whatever, will sort of compensate for that, and your ship will go faster again within that solar system. It's a neat little detail I thought was interesting. The ship combat is a lot of fun, simply because it's fun watching ships fly apart. Everything seems to be pretty modular. There are definitive parts to a ship, and you can blast off half of an enemy ship and it still fire at you because its cannon is still intact or whatnot. There's also star bases that you can destroy and the like. There's also various difficulty settings too, so if you want an easier experience, you can reduce the damage that you take by a considerable amount, so you can focus more on exploration than anything else. There's also some crew management involved as well. It's not that fine-tuned, but different crew members will have different stats, and these stats will affect different things on your ship. And through research, you can even make those abilities even more powerful. You unlock things like abilities called battle stations, for example, which will temporarily buff you and give you repair bonuses in combat, stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool things to unlock, and a lot of things I haven't seen yet because I hadn't had the time to play this for 3-4 hours. But it's still a lot of fun. My favorite part, really, is going from planet to planet and then sending teams down and exploring and seeing what happens at those locations. And typically you get resources, and your crew will gain XP over time, which is also cool. So it's a really cool, again, it kind of reminds me of Star Trek in a way, because a lot of it is exploration. A lot of it is, there is some combat associated with that. There are alien races that you'll come across at some point and you have to talk to them. So if you enjoy like an action RPG but with a space story attached to it, then you'll like this. I'm fairly certain you'll like this, but just, it does get a little samey after a while because it's just go to the next planet, okay, go to the next. There's a lot of exploration. But it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, as far as the rest of it's concerned, I didn't have any other issues aside from the option menu bug, so this is pretty solid in terms of ready for release. One thing I will note that according to the developer's email, this game features over 30 hours of story. So this game will take you some time to get through, a lot longer, I suspect, if you bother to like explore all the planets and try and get as many resources as possible, to unlock everything on the research tree, to fiddle with the shipbuilder so you can build better ships and the like. So yeah, I have a feeling that you could get a lot of playtime out of this, and that's probably where that $25 price tag is coming from. So yeah, I would still recommend this game, absolutely. It's been a pleasure to play this. I look forward to coming back to it. I just wish I had more time to play it. But yeah, that's Starcom Unknown Space. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.